Hi everyone, welcome to the next video from this page of houses, which is from Worlds of Wonder by Johanna Basford. Now this first column was done in the Polychromos pencils, but for this column we're using Castle Arts pencils and we're trying to copy a similar style or colour to the one next to it. So each sort of row is going to match. So yesterday we matched these two, you can see they're looking reasonably similar. So today, if we have a quick look here, on this house we've got a brick and a wood wall and a sort of yellowy render. So on here what I thought I would do was do some wooden slats on our little attic room and do some bricks on this back part and then just do our render on the front one. So let's get going. I'm going to come in a bit closer and not show the other one in shot. Now I have done this house before in a different video and I really liked what I did with it, you can find that on my channel. I'm going for my render colour first. I think I'm going to use the yellow ochre. I'm just seeing if I can find it. Here we go. Here's the yellow ochre. And just for this little bit on our front sort of porch part, this is a little bit darker than the yellow that I used on the other one. We're not going to match the colours exactly. The aim isn't to try and match it exactly anyway, it's just to make them look similar, was my thought. So here we go with our ochre. It's not quite as warm as the yellow on the other one. I'm going to layer it up another layer, it looks a bit thin. You can just layer these up and it will just intensify the colour a little bit. There we go. Now let's deal with the wood part here now. We need a lightish brown to start with. I am thinking the terracotta light might work. Yeah. So I'm going to do a light layer across the whole of our little attic room, whatever it is, to start with. Like that, and then we need to draw on our wood. You can use a ruler for this if you would rather. I'm not going to do that, I don't think. I'm going to use the raw umber. And just draw on some wood, wood lines. It looks quite orange in the picture, I don't think it is though. I'm just going to run them parallel with the lines that have been drawn on already. That's a bit messy. Wood is a natural material, it's not always going to look really neat, so I'm not too worried about it looking a little messy. I'm going to go back over those as well. Make them look a bit thicker and darker. Now I'm happy. The good thing with using a lighter colour for this sort of thing, I'm going to put a few in between, a few lighter ones, is that if it goes wrong you can just layer the whole thing and sort of almost start again with the darker one on top. There we go. There's our sort of wooden bit, quite straightforward. Now the bricks, we've got quite a big area to do for bricks. I used quite a darkish brown. I think I'm going to mark it out in the burnt umber. I'm going to just sharpen it. Brought my sharpener through this time. Forgot it last time. There we go. So here we have our burnt umber. Now my idea is that on the other one the bricks were a little bit random. I think we won't. We'll do a line across there and continue it across here. Okay, and then another one that's sort of here. It's sort of tempting to go level with those lines in the window, but I think I won't because it might just look a little bit contrived. So we'll go like that. Got a different width now between them. That one is level, but if we do it slightly above, and then at the height of the sill. Now with your downward strokes, you don't want to match up. It's not a checkerboard. If you look at bricks on a building, they are laid opposite each other to give strength. So that's what we are going to do here. Now these bricks are a bit smaller than the ones, slightly smaller than the ones on the other building that we did, but I think it will be fine. Just mark them in. I'm going to do the same on the other side. It's a bit more random. Although the cross lines match, the downwards don't. You can use a ruler for this if you would rather. I'm possibly should, but because they're quite small, I think it's okay. It looks a bit organic, and I'm happy. Let's just draw those all in. Now I want to darken that up a little bit, so I'm actually going to go back over all of them with a darker mark, a more sort of confident mark. You may not need to do this if you've already done it in a fairly heavy-handed manner anyway, because it is my mortar in between my bricks, so it needs to show up. It's not like a normal outline where we might want to hide it a little bit. So it's just a matter of going over. And the same on this side. Takes a bit of concentration, I'm afraid, so less talking. My stomach's talking, I don't know if you can hear it growling. I just had a coffee, it's obviously enjoyed it. There we go. Now I want a very slightly lighter shade of brown to fill inside the bricks. I'm just looking at what we have. I'm quite tempted to use the raw umber again. It might be a bit too pale, but the Van Dyke brown I think will be too dark. So we'll go for the raw umber and see what happens. And what I want to do with each individual brick is to colour around the outside a bit darker and then a bit lighter in the centre. They're really small. I've probably made them a bit too small, but I'll try my best. Let's see what happens. I can hear a dog barking. My neighbour's dog sitting. But we have a few dogs around here anyway, you're never quite sure. And people walk their dogs around here on the canal path. So it's often little dog noises. I don't mind. We don't hear it at night. So that's fine. I can hear some drilling now. My neighbour's having a lot of work done. So that is creating a reasonable amount of noise. But it's fine. Don't mind noise. It's not quite as defined as that one, but I think it's fine. It's different, and that's okay with me. It bugs me a bit that this isn't straight. Like if I straighten up the bottom of the house like that, the door isn't quite straight, and this bit isn't quite straight. But Johanna likes drawing her things to look quite organic and hand-drawn. I think there is an appeal. I know we've got a lot of AI drawn items lately, that some people really enjoy the AI colouring books, some people don't. It's a very personal thing. I saw Colour with Claire posting about it quite recently. It's a tricky thing. It's a way that people can make drawings who don't have the artistic, who can't draw. But on the other hand, I wonder if there's something else they could do to make money rather than that, if that makes sense. You know, they must have other things they can do. If you can't draw, you can maybe do something else. I don't know, that's just my sort of feeling. Now, we don't have a door on the house that we've done already like this, so that's something I need to think about. I've managed to draw my bricks coming out here, so I'm just going to grab my eraser and just try and erase those lines a little bit. It's not going to totally erase, but that will fade it a bit, and where I'm going into the window. Right. Now we have a bit of a chimney here, and on this one the chimney pot is done with this colour, so that's what I'm going to do next. So it was the yellow ochre, and I'm just going to use it here. This. Okay. Now our roof is done in a cold grey. I think I'll use the cool grey colour. It needs a good sharpen, so let's do that. And the window, we don't have a windowsill either in the other pictures, so that's something I'll think about in a bit. So let's do the cool grey to start with on our roof. Now I like to do the top quite faint, and then I like to do it sort of darker here and then fading it down towards the bottom. Which is how I feel it would be. So I'm just going to go over this a little bit to make it slightly more vibrant. So I may just do this quite lightly. Oh, my stomach. Okay, so in here, a bit darker. And then just a bit less layers down here. I've gone out of the lines, but you know. And I've done this bit just a little bit darker just so it looks different. What I did for this bit was I made it dark there and lighter there, so a little bit different to the other one. So it's sort of dark along the bottom. It's quite difficult to do that. And I'm also going to do this little bit and the window frame, and this roof light here, a bit darker here, and then we'll do each of the tiles separately. Takes a little bit longer, but I feel it's worth it. If you don't have the patience all the time, you don't have to. I was just thinking, I wonder if there's a page like this in Johanna's new book. You know, she's got a lot of pages with little items on. I wonder. I'm trying to remember when it's coming out. November, I think. Oh, I've got it pre-ordered, as I'm sure lots of people do. Although some people like to wait for a flip through. I don't know. And some people might be waiting for it for Christmas, of course. Gosh, that would be tricky, waiting till Christmas. Don't think I could do that. Luckily, I've got an excuse because I have to do videos for you. So, you know, I have to buy it. And I can use, some people very kindly gave me a little bit of money in my PayPal tip jar, and some people give me donations through Ko-fi. So I can use that money to buy books, which is rather nice. And although they're sort of for videos and to share, they're still for me. I still enjoy them. So that's really nice. Now these windowsills, again, keeping with the same colour, plus the door frame. think quite plain. I think it looks like stone then. Now the windows in the other house, we just did some lines, so I'm going to do that. Just some lines across to look like they're reflecting the light. Like that, it's quite straightforward. I can't think what to do with the door though. We've got a door on our next one. I know, we could do a wooden door, because the door in the one over here, which you can't see, is wooden. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's use the terracotta light, like we did do the same wood that we did for the attic room up here. So terracotta light first. And then raw umber, I seem to remember. Whoops, there you go. What I like about these pencils is you can see the colours so easily in the light, whereas the polychromos, it's so difficult to show you what colour I'm using, because the colour of the barrel and everything else. I'm just making those a little bit darker. Okay, door handle, I'm going to go for my cool grey. Now we do have this mailbox. I'm going to use the cool grey for the stand. I'm assuming they're made of metal, I have no idea. I'm going to fade it up as if the light's shining on it. Are they metal? Is that where you make them from? No idea. And we're going to do a yellow ochre flag. I think that's what it is, isn't it? No, don't know. Right, now what we need to do now is to do all our shading, because it looks quite flat. Or we could do some grass there. Let's do that, or else I'm going to forget. I'm just going to grab the hooker's green and do a bit of grass there. There we go. Right. It looks quite flat, so we need some shading. I'm going to use black like we did yesterday, because we don't really have any other colours. So along here we need to put in our black to show that this house, this porch bit, is forward from the house. So put in lots of black here, and then up here. Like that. But we also need to do it for this bit here, because this bit, I feel, is sticking out from the roof. And a little bit across the top of there. There we go, under the window. Under this window. Under this window. And under the roof here as well. I feel that we would have a little bit of shadow. Then I'm going to look back and see. Yeah, I think that's okay. I think we just need a bit under the roof line here. That's better. Yeah, that's made a big difference. Okay, I think that is done. I am quite happy with that. Let's just bring it down. Oh no, we can leave it like that. There we go. And just, oh, yes, under here. There we are. I'm happy with our little house. So there is our next one done. Thank you for watching. Please drop me a like if you enjoyed the video, and maybe a comment, and remember to subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. Yes, thanks for watching. Have a really lovely day and happy colouring.